Hello and welcome to this audio blog as a reflection for the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development CIPD Festival of Digital Transformation. I am Sujan Karki and today I will be sharing reflection on a vital issue of digital transformation shaping the modern workplace, bringing both opportunities and challenges. So we are focused on the impact of digital technologies on employee fatigue and psychological well-being. So, over the past decade, or specifically post pandemic, digital transformation has dramatically reshaped how we work. From AI powered platforms to remote communication tool, the workplace has evolved at a place where we have never seen before. But while these innovations have enhanced efficiency, flexibility, and global connectivity, they have also brought significant challenges, especially when it comes to psychological well being and digital fatigue. As Holland and Bristol in 2022 acknowledged, this transformation calls for a complete re-evaluation of how work is structured and experienced. And as the CIPT 2022 highlights, it's no longer just about implementing new tools, it's about managing their human impact as well. So this reflection will explore on the four topic. Firstly, how digital transformation impact employee fatigue and psychological well-being at work, and secondly, support of digitalization on employee completion their job tasks. Thirdly, what you as a line manager can do considering the subtle difference across job and sector. And fourthly and lastly, what we can do to create a healthier, more human-centric digital workplace. Now let's begin with impact of digital technologies on employee fatigue and psychological well-being at work. One of the biggest impact we are seeing is the blurring of boundaries between work and personal life. Constant connectivity, as noted by Colbert Yee and George in 2016, can really increase our cognitive load. This began rapidly rise during and after the COVID-19 pandemic, with many of us in hybrid or remote setup, often engaged with work for extended hours, sometimes without enough rest or social interaction. This constant use of emails, messaging apps, and endless Zoom meetings have led to what many, including researchers Kinman and Ray in 2022, calls the always-on culture. It's particularly noticeable in sectors like education and IT. When we are constantly cognitively engaged without a chance to properly detach, it can lead to chronic fatigue, anxiety, and burnout. This techno stress, as Holland and Brewster in 2020 also discussed, that it can make us feel incompetent and like we have lost control. Then there is digital presentism, that feeling of needing to be visibly online even if you are exhausted, for fear of looking uncommitted. Kinman and Roy in 2022 highlighted this too. It's a real drain and it shows how the cognitive demands of digital work are shifting, requiring us to have high level of self-regulation and digital literacy. And just to be clear, when we talk about psychological well-being in the workplace, we mean factors like job satisfaction, workload, our relationship with colleagues, and the support we get from our organization. All essential for employees to flourish, as the CIPD put in 2023. Research from Eurofound in 2022 also showed that intensive work is correlated to stress and emotional exhaustion, especially when employees have limited control over their schedules and workloads. Moving forward, with support of digitalization on employees and completion of their job tasks. Digitalization, as Lord Collier and Chung pointed in 2022, is fundamentally reshaping work for the better in many ways. Heritage in 2028 also noted that it's creating new paradigm for how tasks get done. Automation, at Potent discourse, can free us from repetitive tasks, letting us focus on important, creative, and engaging work. And communication tools like Slack, Zoom, and Teams, as Arnold and colleague mentioned, can genuinely enhance teamwork and information flow. Crucially, digital tools enable the flexible and agile working that Holland and Bristol talk about, potentially giving employee more control and improving work-life balance. They can also enhance connection, as Corvinier and colleague recently noted, by supporting virtual team building and peer recognition, which helps combat isolation. This really speaks to what Cat Howard advocated for in 2020, putting the human back into human resource by using technology to foster meaningful interaction. And let's not forget direct well-being support. The CIPD podcast, From Surviving to Thriving, touch on things like employee assistance program and digital literacy, wild mind that is the mental health charity in 2022 insight also emphasized accessible digital support for mental health. Now moving on with the line manager's role. So what the line manager's role in all of this? It's really crucial. Managers who communicate with empathy, show emotional intelligence, and are firm about clear boundaries can significantly improve employee well-being. The CIPD in 2023 highlighted that managerial responsibility for boundary setting, like ensuring digital communication doesn't interfere into personal time by setting email curfews or modeling healthy digital habits, can really shift cultural norms in the organization. Line managers are the ones who translate organizational policies into everyday practice. Regular, empathic check ins, active listening, and spotting early signs of fatigue or burnout are the key. And then it's about finding the right solution together. A critical focus, as Howard in 2022 also emphasized, must be on inclusivity and equity. Are the digital tools and working practices accessible to everyone, considering neurodiversity, disability, or different levels of digital literacy? This means ensuring that digitalization is human centric and doesn't exclude anyone. Now, moving forward, there are subtle differences depending on the job type, job role, or sector in terms of digital impact on employee behavior and ways of working. Firstly, in knowledge based industries like education or finance, heavy screen based work can easily lead to digital fatigue from multitasking and constant online meetings. Eurofound's in 2022 findings suggest that things like meeting free hours and flexible scheduling are vital here. And in healthcare and social care, while tools like electric health records or EHRS and telehealth have streamlined some operation, they have also added administrative burdens. As NHS, National Health Service employers noted in 2023, frontline staff can experience both compassion fatigue and digital fatigue, needing mental health support embedded in policy. And in retail and service sector, digital platform from scheduling or customer service have improved coordination. But as ACAS, an independent public body funded by UK government, pointed out in 2022, if these roles become too rule bound with limited autonomy, it can hit motivation and mental health. And lastly, in industrial and manufacturing roles, the rise of industrial Internet of Things, as Heritage 2018 discussed, it brings new digital tools that also concern about skill gap, usability, or job displacement, all impacting employee well-being. Now, to conclude, what we can do towards a healthier digital future. There is no denying that digital technology has improved today's work environment by improving efficiency, supporting adaptable work arrangement, and extending international collaboration. However, this innovation have also introduced emerging challenges to workplace. The always on digital culture, along with the rise of remote and hybrid work models, has guided to the unstructured work life balance, mental saturation, and the decline of emotional resilience among workers. This educational art track reflection have revealed that digital technologies can enhance worker efficiency and productivity. However, when overused or misused, commonly results in techno stress, presenteeism, and disengagement among workers. However, this consequence is not similar across all the sectors, which requires a customized context of our strategy to digital well-being. Recognizing and reducing digital fatigue depends heavily on line managers who must lead with empathy. Actively mitigating digital fatigue and setting clear boundaries are essential for creating environment where employees feel mentally safe and supported. Organizations that emphasize digital well-being not only mitigate burnout risks but also enhance productivity, presentation, and future sustainability in a digitally enhanced world. Thank you for your time.